Hello! Happy Sunday! Woo!
Hi
Finally,
guys,
my favorite day of the week.
this is nice.
I love Sundays.
So we are having some intermittent internet problems.
Is that easy for you to say?
Not really. Did you notice that? We
Come again, sir?
don't know if it'll affect the live or if the live might freeze and come back. But we were trying to do some uploading and it's seems like it's getting hung up. And we reset the router, so it ain't that.
Technology.
If we
So much
lose you,
fun.
you know why. But we'll be back. We'll come back. So we'll just hope that it stays okay. The weather here is fine. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous outside. Nice and sunny, good temperature.
It was cloudy all morning. We were probably in the 60s, and the sun just popped out like 30 minutes ago. We're probably in the upper 60s, but it's really nice out.
I've been cold all day.
I welcome the 50s and 60s. I love it.
I like it too, but we rode to church on the motorcycle this morning and it was really cold because the sun wasn't out. And for me, ever since I've been on blood thinners and I had this stent put in my leg, I get cold easily. And it seems like once I get really, really cold, I can't get warm enough. So that was my issue for today. And I finally, now that the day is ending, I finally got warm enough, but it took all day. I was walking around here in sweatpants and a long sleeve shirt and a jacket, and now I'm in shorts and a t-shirt.
Right.
But it's nice to be able to ride the motorcycle, but I think I need to get one of those things that goes over your face, and I should have been wearing some thicker jeans. So is what it is and lessons learned, but I think we won't be riding it that many more times anyway. It might be too cold soon. Plus, I'm hoping that we'll be on the road at some point soon.
Yeah.
Please, yay, yes.
Yep. So I've got one more week, actually 2 more days, Wednesday and Friday of physical therapy. Still working on my shoulder. It's not complete, but it's probably 85%. I'd say 85%, but it wasn't like 50%. So I do think it's helped.
You're in the right direction.
Yeah. There's more to do, but I'm going to do it on my own. I think I've been enough physical therapies now. I know what it is they're doing. I see, and I ask questions too. I drill them on exactly what it is they're doing and what they're trying to get out. So he said, we're trying to get range of motion. That made sense. I just wanted it explained to me so maybe I can take this home and I can do it myself. So great. It's working. I was doing some earlier today while we were,
and that's the thing to do the things at home. It's just like working out. So far, I personally haven't gotten motivated enough to do any workouts at home, which I need to beef it up because we go 3 days a week to the gym. But I really would like to be working out a minimum of 4 days. I would love 5 days, but realistically, 4 days, I could live with that. So I need to find more motivation.
So the physical therapy, you go to physical therapy, don't expect them to do all the work for you. You got to do some of it yourself. So you have homework. If you don't do the homework, then you're not going to get as much out of it. So it's just like a kid going to school. If he comes home and doesn't want to apply himself to do his homework, then all your learning happens during homework. That's when you're learning. When you're in school, it's more testing and reviewing. But when you study, that's when you learn. That happens at home, mostly. Now, you can study on the bus. You can study between classes. You can study in study hall.
Well, the biggest thing is you have to be on yourself to do it. Because I'm certainly not going to nag you to do those things.
Yeah, nope, that's on me. It's on me. I'm the one that wants to get better. I'm the one that benefits from it. I'm the one that doesn't want to have to pay them. So I'm the one that's going to do it. That's on me.
Ooh, could I collect the copay if I get on you?
Sure.
Then you could pay me. I'll nag you and tell you what to do. And
okay. You've seen what they tell me to do. So.
Drop and give me 20.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So they most of the work I can do, a lot of it's sitting down. Some of it's laying down. But really what you're doing is you're just trying to increase your range of motion. So they do a whole bunch of up, and you can see it's better at going up. Right there, it starts to hurt a little bit, but that's way better than right here.
Raise your hand if you're sure.
Yeah, so out to the side is the hardest part. I'm a little bit higher than 90 degrees, I think. So that's better than it was.
You just need a V8. When you're
It
leaning,
mostly
you just
hurts
need
when
a
you
V8.
push against it like this. That's where it hurts the most. So that's what I'm going to be working on. So you can use pulleys. They got pulleys on the door that you can pull your arm up. I've got a pulley system too. I haven't set it up, but I
I
could.
found one when I was cleaning out some totes.
Yeah.
So
So we could do that over in the garage.
get your
I
own
could do
physical
that.
therapy here at the
Yeah,
house.
I can do everything here that they were doing.
And I'll collect that co-payment and everything will be good. Yay.
Spend it wisely.
So thank you, everybody, for spending this time with us. Thank you to our moderators. You guys do an awesome job. I see Melanie and Amy and Nancy on here. Thank you so much for all you do for us. We really appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I know everybody in the chat also appreciates you for keeping out all the negativity. It's very important.
Yeah, we made a conscious decision that we're going to keep this all positive. We're fully aware that there's still a pending lawsuit, but nothing has happened with that. There's nothing to talk about. So when that does, and it's over, then we will give you all the juicy details, probably all in one sitting, about the whole thing. But right now, there's nothing to tell, so we're not even going to discuss it.
Everybody knows as much as we do.
Yeah,
I'm sure
really.
Everybody looks everything up pretty thoroughly online to see the progress, and you know as much as we do.
Yeah.
So.
And Florida courts are slow. So
slow.
You take one little action, wait 2 months. Take one little
Plus,
action.
you're heading into the holidays. So if you throw the holidays into anything, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, we don't expect
everybody's
anything.
on vacation.
We would be surprised if all this clears up by January. Like, really, I mean, Florida's ridiculous.
So that's all the news with that.
So what happened this week? We had a Jeep repair. The fuel filter housing, which in a Jeep is up on top of the block, underneath the manifold. So they have to remove the manifold to get to this thing. So it's a 3.5-hour labor project. And to see if I could do it myself, I went to a YouTube video just to see what was involved. Right?
Yay, YouTube!
And the guy was very good that I was watching do it. And it's a lot. So I was like, I'm not touching this. This is starting to get above my pay grade, I guess, my level of expertise. And this is our only vehicle, and I don't need to be stuck in the driveway and can't get parts. I have to go on the motorcycle. So
or drive the RV
let's
around.
Go get it fixed, bite the bullet. And so that's what we did.
I couldn't believe that the thing is made with plastic.
It's plastic. The OEM fuel filter housing is plastic.
That's nuts.
So I don't know how to describe it, but the filter is remove the cap, and it's a little filter in the top, and it pulls up and out of the top of the front of the block. So, well, not down in the block, but right up above the block, the front of the motor. So it's the plastic housing that goes in. Now that plastic housing goes down and underneath the manifold. So the manifold and everything connected to it all has to come off. So there's a lot of hoses, vacuum lines, wires, so forth. So I didn't want to mess with that stuff.
Nothing simple anymore under the hood.
Correct. And then, and I've never worked on Jeeps. So, so once the manifold comes off, you have oil and antifreeze inside this housing, because it also acts as a cooler radiator kind of for the coolant. So it passes through the engine. Well, the oil and the antifreeze pass each other and help cool each other down.
Do they weigh high?
Yeah, the antifreeze chambers are touching the oil chambers in a aluminum. So anyway, long story short, we replaced the whole thing.
Or was that short story long?
Short story long. We replaced it with, they said they're going with an upgrade and went with an all aluminum fuel filter housing. I was like, hey, sounds good. So we did replace it and upgrade it. That bill was, I think, in the 600s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
600, something close to 7. But they also had to change the oil. So it includes an oil change, at least. So
anytime you have to bring a vehicle into the shop, it
not
seems
cheap.
your bill is always over $500.
But
Sadly,
those guys were great. They did a great job. I gave them an excellent review.
all in the same day, so that's good.
Yeah.
I know when I used to get my Jeep worked on when I worked at the post office delivering mail, sometimes they'd keep it for a week, and that was what I used to deliver the mail. So it was a huge inconvenience.
Yeah.
And they always charged a lot.
So that place, I told them I'd give them a shout out, and I will. It's Myers Automotive, and they also do U-Haul rentals too. And they have good reviews, so I just added another one. So
Yeah,
if you
they were
guys
super
need,
nice
if
too.
you guys need some auto mechanic work done on your vehicle, I recommend Myers. We had a great experience. They got it in and out the same day, and I'm happy with it.
And they're in Tullahoma.
And anytime you can get honest work done on your vehicle, go for it, because there's a lot of people out there that do less than honest work. So shout
That
out to
is
Myers if you're in the
true.
Tullahoma area. That's a good one to use.
I'm glad I didn't have to fix it.
There may be other ones that are just as good. I don't know, but I can speak to them. So I did.
Well, it's good too to find another thing when you're moving to a new place. You got to find new mechanics, your doctors. There's so many things you got to find. Maybe a barber. Of course, Brett does his own. And
Yeah, I cut my own hair.
mine doesn't really get cut. I feel like
I trim it for you.
Yeah, you trim the back of it, but I feel like it could use probably some professional
That's not
looking
me.
at some point. So we'll have to book one of those. I haven't had my hair cut by a professional, well, since we've been together.
Maybe there's a professional hairstylist or a beautician in the chat that doesn't live too far away. Just saying. Can always ask for help.
And I could get it cut to here.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, there's many days I think I want to cut it back short because it's such a mess.
Yeah.
But it would take forever to grow it back long too. So it's like you got to weigh it out.
So what else have we been doing? We've been doing a few repairs. We did another DIY today on the toilet bowl, actually. The switch, the activator switch. So there's a video on that coming out sometime.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it was. It was exciting. I got all wet too.
You were in the splash zone?
I was in the splash zone.
Good times.
So we were out
We've
at
been yard sailing,
yard sailing.
of course. Still
No.
looking for deals.
Yeah, we may have touched on this too last week, but I don't know how much we touched on it. The belt buckle visit, we are fully aware that we are having problems with the microphones.
Oh, yeah.
A
That-
few people did say something.
That stunk when I was editing. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is awful. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, on those microphones, there's not even any adjustment to fix anything with it.
And when you're actually using the microphone,
You don't know.
You don't know until after the
And
fact.
that's why some people do not use microphones, because
Yes.
we even had a video when we were in Alaska where Brett forgot to turn his microphone on.
Mhm.
So later on, I go to edit this video and it was horrible. I couldn't even use it. So it's complete wasted footage. And we didn't even get a great diary of our day or
So
video log of our day. So it just,
yeah,
it stinks.
We do have a fix in place. We're not experts in audio video stuff, so we reach out to people who are or know more than us or have more experience with it.
Well, there's so many choices like everything else.
Yeah,
of
it's like a
course.
computer. There's 1,000 choices.
And when we first got these microphones, they were great
Yeah, they
for
work
however
fine.
long we were using them. And then
Mhm.
just all of a sudden they were not.
We even used them in our live and they did fine.
So,
Now we've got this. Well, we've had this now
and
since we've
if
been
you
doing
read people's reviews online, it's like a mixed bag. Most of them review stuff as soon as they got it. So if I would have reviewed those microphones as soon as I got it, I would have said they were great and recommended them to
Yeah.
everybody. But most people don't use a product for any length of time and then review it.
Mhm.
And so you don't get the full story, but you reached out to
I reached out to Travis to see his microphone, if he's happy with it. Does he like how it's doing? Because in watching his videos, he clearly uses a microphone. He normally has it clipped to his ball cap or clipped, somewhere, and he's always messing with it. So I figured he would know. And his videos, they sound fine.
And he's been using it for
And
quite a
he's
while.
been using it for a while. So I reached out to him and said, hey, how do you like your microphone? He goes, oh, I love it. And I said, where'd you get it? He goes, I don't even know. So he said one of his viewers sent it to him. I was like, oh, well, that's awesome. So we looked him up. It's a Joby. So we looked it up and we got exactly the same thing what he has.
Yeah, so we're waiting for that to come in the mail.
So we'll be using a similar, it's bigger, but it probably just has a big battery pack on it or something.
Probably. But, so hopefully that'll help a lot, because I know it's good when you're in a crowd too, because it cuts out the different crowd noise.
Yeah.
And, Brett doesn't speak as loud.
Yeah. I speak soft, but I carry a big stick.
Is that the PVC stick you've been working out with?
I have a pen, the power of the pen.
Oh, brother. He's lost it. So yeah, we definitely got those coming. I'm glad for that, because I was so irritated editing that video.
Yeah, so we're sorry that you had to listen to that garble. It sounded like we're talking into a water fish tank or something, but we're glad you suffered through it. Some of you even said that you turned on the closed caption so you could read it. That's smart.
It was a fun day, though.
It was
a tiring day. I can't believe how huge it was. And we didn't even see everything.
Yeah. We didn't even go down all the streets.
It was starting to get hot. My feet were hurting. And I don't know what, we had something else to do that afternoon, I believe. Yeah. But we didn't even see the whole thing. And what did I read? There's over 800 vendors.
800 vendors.
That's crazy.
And it was their 47th annual
so
bell buckle festival.
A well-oiled machine.
So
and I liked how
Otter
it just
Creek, take notes.
It interweaved throughout the town. And every time I thought we were getting to the end of it, I look over and I'm like, there's like a whole nother festival going on over there.
Yeah, there's like another branch, and then it opens up and there's more.
And they had a lot of neat stuff there. I know a lot of the festivals we went to around Levy County, they're much smaller, and you would see a lot of the same repeat on the booths, and every one of the fairs had kind of the same vendors, so it was all the same kind of stuff. But we saw a lot of unusual things at that one, and I love seeing unusual stuff. So that was fun. That was definitely a fun day.
Now, take in mind the festival and these vendors, we realize that the prices, you don't go there to get a deal on anything. You're going to pay more for it than you probably would in a regular store. The thing is the experience. Possibly. Sometimes you'll have people making something.
I don't know, that guy selling those waffles and coffee, he had a good deal.
Yeah, there are some good deals. There can be.
He was making that syrup.
We weren't there really to spend a bunch of money. We were there to bring an activity, an event to you so you could see it. And we wanted to see it. So it was a joint experience. It was a great experience. I love just being outdoors. The weather was phenomenal. Wasn't raining.
I love going to festivals.
Yeah, you people watch. You listen to it. You have conversations. You hear other conversations. That's how you get to know a town. Is that you listen to people and you watch people.
You enjoy the weather.
One guy I walked up to, and that's the weekend that Tennessee was playing Alabama that night. And he was dressed head to toe in Alabama gear. And I was like, you got some nerve, man, coming up in here with all that Alabama gear on in Tennessee. He laughed it off. It was funny. Had that been in Florida and had it been the Gators in Tennessee, you probably would have got a totally different reaction.
You mean the Gators and the Seminoles?
Yeah, or, something like that. Yeah. So we're in the heart of SEC country. SEC football is huge.
And to answer your question, Tina, we still love it here in Tennessee.
Yeah, we do.
Absolutely love it. I think every single day, besides thanking God for getting us here, I say, why? Why didn't I leave Florida so many years ago when I wanted to? All growing up through high school and everything, I couldn't wait for the day I could leave Florida. But yet I stayed because I had family there and friends there and job. And, you just stay for those reasons. But I'm like, I should have left such a long time ago. I think my life would have been completely different. But I'm glad to be here now.
I may have had this conversation. I may have had this conversation here before, but when we were delivering mail packages, I was dropping a package off at Tim Hodges' residence. He's one of the commissioners for the Levy County, and I know who he is, and he seems fine. He's actually our representative, was our representative down there in that area of Florida. And he was outside and he had some dogs running. And, after I told him to get his dogs at bay, we talked a little right by the van there, and I'm dropping the package off. And we had a couple of real short conversations. But I remember this conversation. I asked him, I was like, how do you like living here? Have you lived here your whole life? Oh yeah, I've lived here my whole life. I love it here. There's no better place on earth to live. Have you ever lived anywhere else? No. Well, I can tell you there are better places to live than here. It's nice. It's okay. But there are better places and better people in other places. Just saying that. He didn't like that and he kind of shut down. But
I agree with you, Kelly. God's timing is perfect. So I know I always say, why didn't I get here sooner? But yes, God's timing is perfect. And there's usually a lot of different reasons why you were in places you were at the time you were, even if you never understand those things. God, he's in control of everything, and he puts you always where you need to be. Now, whether you do the things that he would like you to do or not is up to you, because we have our free choice as participants.
Our lives were both very much affected by Otter Creek, and I think in a positive way, because I found a campground. We expanded the campground. We were able to sell the campground, and that enabled us, and we would have never met if I wasn't there. So that happened. And if none of that had happened, then this channel wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't be in Tennessee. Most
someone
likely.
Says I was needed to be the mayor. I mean,
all of these things have happened.
There were so many positives.
We were in Otter Creek and we met.
And the lifelong friends that we've met there. We have so many good, close friends that we never would have had. Jeremy and George, Belinda and Doug, Ellie, Scott, and Rex and Janelle that now own Shady Oaks. I mean, we'll be friends with these people forever. Yep. They're wonderful people. And I know there's probably names that I missed, Zim and Marilyn, and there's just so many, the Hudson sisters. There's a great, great group of people, and we met so many, and we'll constantly be visiting. I know someone else asked when we go to Otter Creek for the festival, how long do we plan on staying down there? Are we going to stay at Shady Oaks? Are we going to stay in Zim's Park? I don't even know. We have no idea for any of those, but I know we're more than welcome in Shady Oaks or Zim's Park. Rex told us there's always a spot for us there, which is just beautiful to hear. And that warms my heart, because I really think him and Janelle are just wonderful people. So I think God does put everybody together. I remember when they came and looked at the campground after they left, I had a feeling like those were the people who were supposed to own the park. And some time went by in between them looking and it actually happening. But, there was other people looked at, and I was just like, no, because I didn't really just want anybody to buy it. We put a lot of love and labor into that.
I think
property.
They were the second person out of 4 to look at it, and they looked at it, and I don't know that they passed on it, but they waited a while. They were still thinking about it, but they had looked at some others. They went off and looked at some others and came back.
But I just had a feeling after meeting them the first time that those were the people who were supposed to own Shady Oaks after us. And, God put them in that place. And I was so happy to find out when they put in an offer, because it's important to me when things change hands. It's not just a piece of property. And Otter Creek will always be a special place for us. So we'll always be checking in. We always hope that they're doing well, and we speak to them regularly. It's awesome. I'm glad we get to still be tourists of Florida.
Yeah, I think
I'm looking forward to that so much.
I think when it comes to Florida, being a tourist and visiting is the best part of Florida.
I'm so excited because, like, growing up, I'm like, I want to be a snowbird. That was, I saw all these people that got to come and go, and I'm like, oh, it's getting hot, and they get to leave. Oh, I'm so jealous.
November to February is the best time to visit.
And I was like,
Florida.
I absolutely want to be a snowbird.
When it starts getting hot down there, it's not much fun. It's too hot to enjoy the outdoors.
Yeah, really is. And I did landscaping when I lived down near Fort Lauderdale, and I did mail delivery in Ocala.
Those are hot jobs.
And they are very, very hot jobs.
How about roof working? That would be hot too.
I could not do that. I used to look at those guys doing that, and I don't know how they did it. Recently, when we were driving somewhere, we saw a roof team that had one of those tents, the canopy tent
up on the roof. I was like, that's a good idea.
Like, yes. I said, they are smart men.
Yeah.
I remember when we put the hedge in at Shady Oaks, we had one of those tents. And as we planted all the podocarpus, we took the tent and moved it down the line because it was so hot out.
I think we even had a fan going too.
We did. A lot of times when we'd be out in the back of Shady Oaks, running wire or doing any of the things we were doing,
set up a fan,
bring a fan and that tent out there in the summer because you got to keep working.
Yeah, that only made it tolerable.
Yeah,
you still had to take a lot of breaks. You still had to drink a lot of water. My sweat towels were just like 5, 6, 7. Crazy.
But yeah, you become accustomed to that. If I had to go back to that now, I wouldn't be in the same shape as I was to do it. When you deliver mail, especially, you could pass out. There's carriers who have died because of heat.
Yeah.
So it's serious business. I remember I always had the neck towel with me, lots of water, the Gatorade, all kinds. There was one customer. She was such a blessing. She was like the sweetest, most thoughtful lady on my route. She would put this bowl. She had a big mailbox. So she would put a bowl that was filled with ice, and she would cut up chunks of watermelon and a water bottle in there.
Yes.
And she was like, she says, now when you get to my box, just take a break, take your time. I'd be taking ice cubes out of that, dumping them down my shirt, pouring the water over my head. It was great. I thought she was such a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's good people everywhere and thoughtful people everywhere.
And closer to Christmas, some of the customers would prepare brownies and stuff like that and share them with you.
Baked goods, yeah.
Baked goods,
all kinds of
always
stuff.
Like that stuff.
There's a lot of nice people.
Mm-hmm. The watermelon around Chiefland is good. I don't know how. It's sand, but the watermelon's good.
We bought some delicious watermelons over there. Now, why am I having a brain fart?
Chiefland?
Right across from Zim's house.
Oh, yeah. What's her name?
I know. I'm like having a brain fart.
It's a real short name, too.
I want to say Olson.
No. Right across from Zim, though. They'll put watermelons out on the lawn, and it's an honor system. They'll put a jar out there, and it's like
really good prices, but it's so
$3 or $4, I think, depending on the size of the melon.
They were so sweet.
That's cheap.
It was delicious, and we could go pick it up in our golf
whenever
cart.
you wanted to. Store never closes.
So that was awesome.
We'd run down there, get our mail, go over, get a watermelon, and go back. Drop a few dollars in the can. Win-win. Yeah.
I'm just reading.
Oh, okay.
What else you got?
I got, today we had an event. There was a gentleman parked maybe about 150, 200 feet off the other side of our garage, and it was an idling truck. So I was thinking that it was maybe my neighbor. Let me run over there and catch him because I want to ask him about some trees, if I could clear some trees on his property.
Was it Mimi?
So I went over there, and it wasn't the neighbor. They said they had permission. They were hunting. And I'm thinking they had permission from a friend, and she pointed across the street. So I thought the whole thing was kind of shady. So I actually reached out to our HOA.
Whenever someone says a friend of a friend said I could.
A friend of a friend. That sounds like that triggers Florida man to me in my head.
A friend of a friend.
Right. So
whose name must be friend.
I'll be honest. I don't think they should be hunting in here, bow hunting or
I
not,
don't think so.
because these houses are too close together and there's not enough land. You're talking maybe there might be an acre, but that includes a house on it. So you don't have that much wooded area to hunt. And what are you the deer around here are pretty friendly. I mean, if you go towards them, they'll run off, but to drive by them, or if they're on the lawnmower, they pretty much ignore you. They just watch you, but they won't scare real easily. So I think the community likes having the deer around. So if you start hunting them, they're going to start getting skittish and they're not going to be here. So I'm going to check the regulations with them, and I'm going to call Fish and Wildlife, or as Judge DeThomas would say, it's game and fish. That's I say. Anyway, it's fish and game, not game and fish. Who says that? But anyway,
he's special.
So I'm going to find out if hunting in here is allowed. I can't imagine it would be.
I wouldn't think so.
And why would you want to hunt here anyway? It's like shooting deer here is like shooting fish in a barrel. There's no sport to that.
There's so much land in Tennessee where people could hunt that would make no sense to me at all.
Wildlife management areas galore here. Go get one. Go find one. I don't think they should be hunting in here. So I'm going to check on that, and I'm going to find out. I'm going to be the neighborhood watch president.
Spawn Trooper said hi.
Hey, Spawn Trooper.
Actually, I want to show you this real quick.
Hey, Spawn Trooper, your logo, like from here, I can't really see it very well. But when I see it, it reminds me of the old 1st Cav Division patch from Fort Hood. I look at it, and it looks like the river and the horse head. It looks like the 1st Cav Division patch. If you're not familiar, go look at that and go, oh, yeah, I can see where there's a similarity.
I was cleaning out, going through some of my totes, and I remember that question you had asked last week about the dolphins, and I found some of my old stuff, and there's signatures even on the back. And I'm like, I can't believe I still have some of this stuff that I have. But I have a couple of oddball things.
Bernie Kosar, he was with them for a short time. I know him with the Browns, but.
And then I had that one, just that one.
Oh.
And then I had visited their locker room. So I still had this and their signatures inside, but I'm like, I didn't even know I still had these anymore. So I was like, I'm going to have to bring them on to show him.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah, rub it in.
So we wanted to share that with all the Dolphins fans, but we had you in mind when we saw them.
So that's all my Dolphin stuff. I haven't kept a lot of stuff throughout the years, especially when we were getting ready to move into an RV. I got rid of so much stuff, so I was surprised I even had that still.
There's also some Dolphin memorabilia of Coke bottles with the Dolphins painted on the side of it, I think. Isn't that Miami also? Oh, is that the Marlins?
I have Marlins Coke bottles and Panthers, Florida Panthers.
Okay.
So I only have a few assorted things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was always the Florida teams. I know when I lived down near Fort Lauderdale too, we used to watch the Miami Hurricanes, and then when I moved up to Central Florida, we'd pay attention more to the Seminoles. I was never a Gator fan. I'm a fan of Gator tail, and I'll eat some Gator tail, but that's about it as far as Gators go. But it was good times back in the day, hanging out in South Florida in the Everglades. And
I don't think Gator tastes that much different than squid. It's kind of something that doesn't really have a taste. It's kind of a neutral taste.
It's all in who prepares it and how they season it.
Yeah,
I've had some chewy, nasty Gator before, and I've had some juicy, well-seasoned Gator. So it's all in how you prepare it. It's the same, I guess, as venison and whatnot. If it's not prepared right, it's going to taste like crap.
Yeah.
So
we did, while we were at the festival, look at some Tennessee Volunteers and Titans stuff, but everything was kind of overpriced. So
It's an overpriced world
we've been
right
waiting.
now.
Yeah, I went on Amazon too, and I really didn't like what I was seeing there with the prices or the quality of it. So we waited. We were in Sam's Club this weekend, and we actually found a couple things we liked, and the price was right. But of course, at a wholesale club, you'll get that. You'll get better prices and better
Yeah,
quality
so he
stuff.
found himself a t-shirt and a hoodie.
Yep.
Much cheaper than he would have found online. I think that t-shirt was $16. I think online you would have probably paid $30 for the quality of that t-shirt.
Yep.
So he's happy now. He's got his orange shirt.
And we have a different supplier of our stuff here.
Well, I still haven't gone online. I was using Teesprings, and there's still some Teespring stuff on there. But now I have to decide, do I want to completely wipe out Teesprings and just use Fourth Wall? I know this is my shirt from them. I feel like I like them better, but I still would have to go on there to do more designs because I only put the one design on there on like 4 items. So now I have to decide, should I just ditch Teespring altogether and just put it all in Fourth Wall? And I even ordered, because they have little stickers, and I thought, oh, that's cute. And there's 3 different sizes. So I ordered the 3x3 just to check the quality of it and see how it looks. I wish I would have had these when we were in Alaska, because there was a few places we could have put our sticker.
Oh, yeah.
But
I think the quality of this t-shirt anyway is better
than Teesprings.
Yeah, Teesprings has a real thin material.
And Teesprings
this is thicker.
Has a lot more options with like coffee mugs and things like that. But I guess I'm going to have to put that on my list of things to do and make a decision and just get rid of Teespring altogether and just put it on there. Because I found too that using...
I'll be right back.
Oh, BRB.
BRB.
I found that using Fourth Wall, I could put the price at a little bit less because Teespring just charges too much. So, and I'd like to be able to put a discount for the members on the merch. So I'll put that on my list of things to get going this week. I know we have a few things we really need to get done, but these doctor's appointments just are taking up way too much time. So hopefully we get that done and out of the way, and we'll have a lot more time, because I really do want to get a couple things done and just hit the road. I am excited to get down to Florida and see some people and do some stuff. And we need to still finish our bathroom, putting up the wallpaper. And I think that might be a spectacle video in itself, because neither one of us know what we're doing with that.
So that's the t-shirt.
And it's nice, high quality, like a thick shirt. It's Champion. But I think it was like $16.
And it's stitched on. That's stitched on lettering. It's not the cheapy peel off China crap. Look, it's stitched on. So I like that.
So he was happy to get that. And, you know, it was his birthday week. So he also got a couple of Yellowstone t-shirts.
Yeah, I know this Tennessee color, this orange is kind of loud. I know, I get that.
I used to have an orange Colorado pickup truck when I worked.
Got one in this color.
When I worked at the Otter Creek post office, that was the truck I owned. And I think it would have fit in perfect around here.
I got the hoodie in black.
Yeah, it's nice, and it has a pocket.
Because it's just too much orange. The laces on the hoodie are orange, and so they match us nice.
He was looking at one of the orange sweatshirts, and it was just so orange. It looked like a pumpkin.
Like, good grief.
Looked like a pumpkin.
So I was happy with those, and the price was right. So.
And I think Yellowstone's going to be on soon again, but he loves Yellowstone.
November 10th.
I got him a couple Yellowstone t-shirts because the couple I got him a few years ago were starting to get real bad looking.
There's some other TV shows we like. We like the Chicago series, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD. We used to kind of keep up with, what's the one? Married at First Sight a little bit. And we like that show Floor. where the contestants are on the floor and they quiz each other and they try to earn territory and own the floor. That's a cute little show. It's a little 30-minute show. I know maybe it's an hour. I don't know. But we don't watch TV regularly. The Wednesday genre of the Chicago's we try to catch, and then Yellowstone. I won't miss an episode of that. That's the only one that's like locked in. That's the only one I set an alarm for to make sure I don't miss it.
And we don't watch a lot. I don't have time to watch a lot of TV.
Yeah,
Before being married, I didn't watch TV. I had so many things to do. There was no time for TV. I used my TV to go to sleep. That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
So when I was finally done with the day, I'd put on that sleep timer and just play something dumb to have noise in the background, and I'd fall asleep.
Yeah, we don't even subscribe to any TV service here because you do get a bunch of free channels with the Vizio TV. So it's called Vizio Free TV, and then you get hundreds of channels on that for free. Now they might be older, but you can pick mystery, crime, game shows, drama. You can pick genres, and there's too much to be able to watch for free. Why I'm going to pay for it? You even get some of the local games. Now, do all my favorite teams play on the TV? No, but that's just the price of, I'm not willing to go subscribe to ESPN to go to catch 1 or 2 games a week. It's not worth it to me. And we don't plan on being here that much. So as soon as we get back out on the road, I don't want to pay for a subscription I'm not even using. So we do the off-air antenna and we do the free Vizio TV. And you can, anything with the internet, with a smart TV, you can watch all kinds of apps. So there's tons of apps you can watch on this TV with the internet. So we don't need TV. You don't have time.
I haven't watched any of the
Lincoln
Lawyer. Spawn Trooper was asking about that, but I've never watched that.
I've never watched it either.
There's so many, and Brett will watch a lot of different stuff, and I'll be editing with my headphones on, so I don't catch it all.
If I turn on any kind of sports, she'll be in the other room. It's like a disease. She'll run from it.
I don't like watching it on TV. I'd rather go there live. So
like the World Series is on right now, and I flipped across it. I'm like, let me watch a few minutes of this, and she's like, phew.
I'm out. Unless it's hockey, though.
I told her,
if it's hockey, I will watch.
I'm not going to keep it on. I just want to see a couple pitches.
I don't even want to hear, unless you're bringing snacks to the table and we're having a sports party, or it's hockey. I'm out.
But I'm not even watching the World Series this year. I don't care about either of the 2 teams playing. So.
Yeah, while we're away, we have neighbors watching the house, and we have a security system, and you can check the security system over your phone. And it's also wired with the police and all that, but we can check it from our phone. So I have no worries about anything while we're gone because we're securityed up.
Yep.
And around here, all our neighbors, people watch each other's stuff. We have each other's phone numbers. So that's a blessing too. So it's nice to have that where you can rely on your neighbors and everybody looks out for each other. That's really nice. Yeah.
I feel pretty safe here too. That doesn't mean it can't happen, but Yep. So if there's anything negative, even the tiniest small thing negative about Tennessee, can you think of it? Other than their sales tax is a little high, but you can choose to pay a sales tax. You can choose to buy it or not buy it, or you can go across the state line, which is just 20 miles away. And
that little bit to me is so minor for all the benefit. And a huge thing too is your state of mind and how you feel. Are you stressed? Are you not? That has huge implications on your health. So if you are miserable where you're at, you're going to die faster just because you're miserable every day. Let's just be blunt about that.
You can like where you're at, but then you have rude people, then it's not much fun to live there anymore. The people here have been so welcoming, not just in the neighborhood, but in all the towns we interact with people, and they're all very welcoming.
And I've said that too, even about jobs. If you're in a job that pays more and you're so unhappy, I think now, if it's a huge difference, but if they're kind of close, I would probably go with the lower paying job where I was happy.
Mhm.
Because if you're in this high paying job and you're totally miserable, it's not good for you.
How long are you going to do it if you hate
That
it? You know?
just, it's not good for your health. And I did that with the post office
Mhm.
because you're making this money up here, but you got to have a plan. So I didn't plan to be there forever. And of course, like I said before, I wish I would have left there probably about 5 years ish before I did, because I stayed a little bit longer thinking, oh, I can make some extra money to do some extra things. And I just shouldn't have done that.
And you were trying to pay off some houses too.
Yeah, there was a lot of different things I was trying to accomplish. I was trying to help different people do some things. I wasn't just working there to worry about myself. I do believe that God blesses you so that you can be a blessing to others.
Right.
So I always have tried to help other people do better and be better. That doesn't always work out. You need to do your homework and see if that person sometimes is just a person that takes handouts and you're just enabling them and you're not actually giving them a hand up, you're giving them a hand out. So I think you need to do your homework before you just go throwing money at people, whether they're related to you, whether they're friends, or whether they're somebody you never met. You need to do your research and don't just throw your money into the wind. God didn't tell you to do that.
Well, and it's hard to decide whether a company or an organization is doing right. So how do you know what charities to give to? Well, we decide to give to our local church. So if you can't trust the church, I'm not saying every church is trustworthy, but they should be. So
Well, even on your church, you should do your
Yes.
homework.
Yes.
Churches should have at least one service once a year where they discuss their financials.
Was
And
that a vision service? Isn't
Yes,
it?
it's usually called a vision service, and they'll
Mhm.
discuss where their monies are going.
And they should be open to questions.
Right. And they should want that transparency. So, yes, you should always do your homework, even with your church.
And so we've decided to give to our church and let the church decide who they give to, because we like what they do. We like who they're giving to. I think they were giving to veterans organizations last month. So that was great. I can get behind that. So we give to the church gives to them. So each month they pick a different thing. I think they were putting money toward their fall festival this month. And they do a lot of work in the community, a lot of outreach, and we'll be getting to some of that as we finish our classes, because they're trying to get you through these classes to get to a point where, okay, they want you to be a disciple of Jesus. They want you to start being active in the church. And this church has 70% of its members actively engaged, not just going, but they volunteer extra time. And I think that speaks to the community. I think that speaks largely to the body, to the church body. So we can embrace that. So we give to them and trust that they'll give to the right places.
I think it's a blessing to be able to attend church. And I know a lot of people, even the word disciple, a lot of people cringe and they're afraid to talk to other people because they have this vision of what a disciple is. And a lot of people have the vision of the people going door to door on Saturdays. And they're like, I'm not doing that. That's not for me. But that's not what you have to do.
Right.
And that's not what that means. Sometimes, if you're a disciple, you're a student, and you're always going to be a student. You should always be learning more about Jesus and your part. But just the way you live your life is being a disciple. You don't have to go around town preaching. You just have to live by the Bible, do the best you can every day, because nobody's perfect. And believe me, you're going to make mistakes. I know I do every single day. And you just got to keep a conversation with God and try to make yourself better. But as you live your life according to the Bible, the people around you see that. You're being a blessing to other people. Maybe you're just smiling to them, whatever it is, all this good, positive.
That's leading by example, right?
Yeah, that's you being a disciple and showing God's love to people in everything you say and do. That's how you be a disciple. You don't have to walk around preaching to everybody, going through a parking lot, handing out pamphlets. You don't have to do any of that.
So it's not just what people talk. It's more about what they do.
Right.
Just like the election series, we're gonna be voting next week. Some people may have already voted. We're waiting for the actual vote day because we like to go on voting day.
And we have to do our research.
We do. We don't know the locals.
Advocate that everybody should be out there voting, and I don't want to know what you're voting for. Are you a Democrat? Or I don't care about any of that.
Right.
I just say get out there and vote. Vote your conscience. Vote what you know is right. Vote according to the world that you want to live in. That's right. That's biblical.
And let me ask you, when you decide to vote, especially for this president, you have history. Both of these people have history. Don't listen to what they do or listen to what they say. Listen to what they've done.
Action speaks louder than words.
If you support her and what she has done, then maybe she's your candidate. If you support him and what he has done, then maybe that's your candidate. That's all I'm saying.
I think
go by what they've
not
done.
Even just about who's running for president, but even in your local stuff, do your homework and know when you go there what you're voting for, who you're voting for. And if you don't know anything about anything, I say don't vote for that issue or don't vote in that thing, because if you're blindly just checking a box, that could be harmful. So do your research. All of the stuff is there online, and know what you're doing when you get there.
Yeah.
And
see
that's
what they
all
stand
I have to
for.
say.
All of them have like a little biography.
But that's going to be
about them. What are they involved with?
The 5th?
I think the 5th.
So that's going to be coming up here real soon. And, spoiler alert, God is in control of everything.
He's in control.
No matter who,
no matter how you vote,
God saw that day. He sees every day. He saw today. He sees tomorrow. He knows everything. So it's not news flash for him. He knows what's going to happen. He's in control. So you have no worries. Whoever wins, he's the one who's going to take care of everything.
November 5th.
Yeah. There's a day that every knee will bow, and he's in control. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time worrying, but you should use your time to do good things and spread love and joy.
Yeah. That's it.
And that's what I have to say about that.
So this week, guess what? We've been waiting for what seems like months. But with Jeremy's advice, he said, hold out, you're going to get one. And guess what? We got sent an e-bike. Finally, an e-bike, something we will use for sure. We haven't yet done our breakdown or
we were going to go ride Saturday, and then it started raining out of nowhere. So
we did something else instead.
We'll have to do that this week. It's kind of exciting. So we just ran it like up the block a little bit, very minor, but I'm excited to go hit a trail with that.
Yeah. So far, I like what I see.
We can bring it to Florida.
But, it's a fold-up style bike, so it will fold up and fit inside our Jeep. So that's the plan. We like that. We may have to they only sent one, so we may have to see what we can do about a second one. We need 2 of them.
We need 2.
We need 2.
Because you're not going to be hitchhiking on the back of my bike.
Your bike.
Oh, it's not?
I didn't say that.
We're going to be fighting over whose bike it is now.
So
you have to pick a number.
Yeah, more on the bike later, I guess.
Yeah, so that's exciting. I can't wait because I've never had any experience with an e-bike. It'll be a first.
I think the last thing we have really, we have a company coming tomorrow, I believe.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's
to give
a busy
us
day.
A quote on some windows. This cabin has 12 windows, and we're possibly looking at replacing them.
Oh, I'm afraid to see how much that's going to be.
Most of them do not even open, and I don't like that. And most of them don't have screens. I don't like that.
Yeah.
We like the night air. We like the cool evenings, and we'd like to be able to open up the cabin. There's only 2 doors, and they can only do so much. Sometimes you might want to vent those windows that are upstairs. So we're going to look at that. We may replace some of them, all of them.
I think
it's
odd
know.
That when they were doing the inspection, they don't open windows because in Florida, when they did it inspections, that was always part of the report, whether the window opened or not.
I'll have to go back to that report and see if they even mentioned the windows. I don't recall.
Well, they did mention that there would need to be some work on the windows.
Okay.
There was some negative mention of that, but they didn't mention that they didn't open.
Yeah, so I have to refresh my memory on what they wrote on the windows.
But either way, I'm not thrilled to see what the price tag's going to be on that.
I mean, had they told us none of the windows work, would we have walked away? Probably not, because it had 98% of everything else we wanted. So you don't just walk away because one thing.
Nothing is perfect.
Nothing's perfect. I've had to do a lot.
When it's all perfect, guess what, folks? We are in heaven.
Then it's perfect, right?
Yes, and then it'll be perfect. But here on this side of things, nope.
We can deal with it. It's not that often. Many times a year, you're gonna be open your windows anyway. It's gonna be too hot or too cold. So it's just that area in the middle. We'd like to open windows, like now. But yeah. So we'll find out what that's going to cost, and
then you got to remember too to get 2 different quotes. Don't just get one. There's things throughout life where I just like going to a doctor. Sometimes you should get a second opinion.
And these people are a little bit pushy. And they're coming out of Nashville.
I hate when you get that whole salesman thing going on.
Because I did it online and I got a call. And then the next day I got another call. And I'm like, and he sounded very polished, like a car salesman, very polished. And so that is just telling me that there's yellow flags going up saying this is going to be very expensive. Because you're getting a lot of people involved. That's overhead costs. They're going to cost,
We'll have to look for a local, because they're coming out of Nashville, that place. Yeah, but we'll have to look for a local place around here to get a second opinion, I do believe.
And then I wonder if I bought my own windows, could I just pay someone to hang them?
I don't know about all that.
Because I haven't done that. I don't want to mess with that if I haven't never done it. So
that just might be a whole nother ball of mess trying to get somebody to do work. I don't know if it's any better here than in Florida.
Yeah, I don't know.
Usually in Florida, when you were looking for someone to come do something.
Research.
Yeah, wasn't so pretty.
So more on
I have not seen any bears around here. Nope.
I have not, no.
Not even the Chicago Bears. They just haven't been around.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Oh, so what else we got going on? Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a busy day.
Yeah, busy day.
I can't still. I'm like, please, when are we going to get on the road? I know he's got his next checkup on Halloween, actually. Go see the doctor again.
Thursday.
And he'll say either you need to keep going to physical therapy or maybe I can do a shot in your shoulder this time. I don't know. I still have to call this week for one doctor's appointment because I tried to get a referral and that took forever. Some of the things are just ridiculous with trying to get doctor's appointments and referrals. And you think in this world with all the technology, everything should just be like, come on.
I don't think you should have to pick up a phone to do a referral anymore. You should be able to just hit it on the computer and send it.
Well, you would think so.
Yeah, and maybe they do. I don't know.
You would also think if you leave an office a detailed message as well as send them a detailed email that it wouldn't take a week and a half for them to get back to you and still not have it done.
I know.
However.
This is the world we live in now.
It is interesting, that is for sure. But hopefully we get all that done because I want to hit the road.
Me too.
And I don't know what else we got going on this week. I can tell you one thing that happened this past week. I cheated.
What?
I cheated.
You didn't tell me this.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So you hear it now, along with everyone else. I cheated. I'm so sorry.
What am I going to do? What are you going to do?
What am I going to do about it?
Yeah.
Get back on the wagon.
Okay. What wagon did you fall off of?
The diet plan wagon.
Oh, no.
It was Brett's birthday.
Yeah, we ended up at Olive Garden.
And I ate some breadsticks.
We overindulged.
And, I felt so sick afterwards.
We had planned to go to Texas Roadhouse because I wanted to do a steak and potato for my birthday, but we were trying to do this for lunch while we were in Murfreesboro, and they weren't even open till 3:00. So I was like, well, this ain't going to work. I'm not going to wait 2 hours for them to open. Let's find some other place. So Olive Garden's another favorite place of mine. Everything on their menu is good. So, and it was good. Our waiter was really funny.
He was excellent. He was a hoot.
Yeah.
And then what do we have for dessert there?
Oh,
pumpkin cheesecake.
Pumpkin cheesecake, and it was free because of my birthday. So
yeah, you're right, Sherry. Totally Brett's fault. So, but then we didn't just stop there because that sugar monkey just
clinched on. Huh?
Got on the carb monkey, the sugar monkey, and we just spent the rest of the week misbehaving and feeling like garbage.
But not as bad as that.
No. I mean, it wasn't like every meal, this and that, but it was certainly more than like one cheat meal. So let's be honest.
Because Publix gives away a free cake too.
Yeah. So Publix on your birthday, if you're signed up,
they give you a little loaf cake.
Either that or you can get a gallon of ice cream. So he got the bar cake and they had a pumpkin and chocolate bar cake, which of course was excellent. It would have been even better with some vanilla bean ice cream, but we didn't get any of that.
So we cheated, but we didn't.
Yeah. So tomorrow, back on the plan.
Back on it.
Doing major food prep today because let me tell you, if you don't have your food prep, it's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
I was so stoked though. I got this vegetable chopper that I finally broke down and ordered on Amazon because I couldn't find any at a thrift store or a yard sale. So I finally bought one, and you know what? You get what you pay for. So I found one that was $10, including shipping, and it stinks. So they're getting it back. So it's cheap China crap. So I'm going to have to find a vegetable chopper that's decent. Going to have to spend some money. So, because if you use those things,
that's what we always say.
A huge difference.
It's worth paying the extra if you're going to use it. Yeah. That's the big if. So if you're not sure you're going to use it, it's just like these gym memberships. If you're sure you're going to use it, it's worth it.
Right. So I'll have to get one of those because when you can just put it in a food chopper, chop, food prep becomes so easy compared to you're slicing each little thing and you're in there for hours and hours. Then you're like, why am I doing this? I give up. And you throw in the towel right away before you even started.
Right.
So that was my lesson for this week. Don't be so cheap. Get the vegetable slicer that's going to make you a success. So yeah, fell off the wagon. And you know what? It happens. It happens to everybody. So you just got to brush it off and get back and do it. Pick yourself up and start all over again. The big mistake people make is when they mess up, they stay there. They stay laying down in the mess and just and they don't pick themselves back up. Or they beat themselves up about it tirelessly, and you can't do that either.
Yeah.
So that actually is a double whammer. So, yep, back on the wagon. Ooh, are you the mail dude?
We've got mail.
Brett's got mail.
You ready for mail?
I don't know. Are you the mailman?
We got mail. One of them.
Oh, I'll bring it down because you can't see it.
Is the pink flowers.
So this is so beautiful. This I got from Rose Forever, and I took it out of the box because it comes in this nice packaging. But isn't that cool? They sent these for October, Save the Tatas, because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. But these honestly are nice to get any time of the year. What I love about their stuff is it lasts, they say a year. I'll just keep this here.
Okay.
They say they last a year, but I've seen the ones George has last way longer than a year. Mm-hmm. But their claim is that they'll at least last a year. Mm-hmm. And I think for the price of what you pay for a bouquet, that I know it's a little bit more, but if it lasts a year or longer and you thought about all the times you would have bought those fresh flowers, you probably save money on that. So I think I like this arrangement better than the other one too, because it's like a bouquet that you can see. And they're so pink, pretty and pink. So anyway, that was one thing that came in the mail this week. I did put a link in the description if anybody wanted to look at them and check them out.
So who is this from? This is our friend Sherry, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a birthday present that Sherry sent to Brett. I love her. She has the funniest sense of humor.
I am currently unsupervised. I know it freaks me out too, but the possibilities are endless.
And I know I saw her in the chat earlier. I enjoy talking to her so much. She really makes me laugh. She's got a wonderful sense of humor.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry.
Very nice of you to do that.
So super sweet for you to have gotten that. And there's more.
But wait, there's more.
Spawn Trooper says that's his shirt and he wants it back when you're done with it. Yep, there's Sherry.
Thanks, Sherry. And she also sent these.
I love these. These are going to be fun, especially when we're traveling in the RV. Some Bible trivia, Bible Times quiz. I saw those and I was excited like they were a present for me. So I was like, yay!
This is how you can learn.
Yes.
On those rainy days, you can quiz each other.
So I'm excited for that.
So that's one way you can learn the Bible.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's so much packed in there. That's a good way to memorize some stuff. So
thank
you, Sherry.
Appreciate it.
That's really a present for the both of us.
Yes.
So she's really sweet.
Yeah. That's all I got.
And that's all the mail. Oh, yeah. Maybe we can share some trivia with y'all too, Sherry said. So that would be fun. Maybe in the future we could do something like that for sure.
Yeah.
So many fun things.
So you've thanked our moderators. You want to talk about membership a little bit?
Oh, sure. And once again, I will thank, because I know more moderators came on since I was first thanking you in the beginning. I see Heather May in there as well. Okay. I just want to once again thank you all. Thank all the moderators for being on here and doing what you do. Everybody in the chat appreciates you.
That keeps everything smooth.
Yeah, everything runs smooth. Nobody has to worry about negative energy. So we appreciate and love you guys. And also our members. I just wanted to thank our members real quick. Once a week, we usually do a live video or just a regular video. It's usually live. We try to go live, but if there's a bad signal, we just do a video. We have 2 levels of membership. One is $4.99 a month, and that you just get emojis and badges, and it really helps support the channel, and we do appreciate every one of you. And the second level is the resident, which is $9.99 a month. And you get the emojis and badges as well as the 1 video or live a week. And I'm hoping too, when I finish doing this merch with Fourth Wall and put more on there and get Teespring off of there, then I can do a discount code for that for the members. So just thank you all once again. And even if you're not a member, we appreciate every single person who's a subscriber or just watches our videos. You guys are great. And that's why we do this, just to be able to have time to spend with you and spread positive vibes and smiles.
I got a survey question I'd like to ask the chat.
Survey.
So they can chime in.
Survey. Okay.
So I got a question.
What you got?
Should we do any merch that says, like a t-shirt that says, I plead the fifth? Do you think we should be doing any of that type of merch? Do you think that would be good, bad, and different? If you're for it, give me a 1 or a thumbs up. If you're like, I'm not for it, give me a 2 in the chat. I want to see if there's a general consensus of I like or don't like. Looks like the don't likes.
I think there's more 2s.
Yeah, I think there's more 2s. I'm kind of on the fence about it because if you start that, you're going to stir.
I agree with the people that say 2.
Yeah.
I don't personally want any of that.
I think it's funny. I just don't think it's for us. So we're going to keep it. We'll just keep it the way we have.
Goodness. Jason says 1.
It would be funny.
Don't stir the pot,
But some
Debbie
people,
says.
it's a subject.
Someone said, how about the Trespass 5?
Yeah, we could do that.
But I do need to get on there and finish doing the other design and then just taking Teespring off. So that's on my list of things to get done. I guess I really better be on a serious wagon this week. I might need to drink some espresso to get all these things done.
More coffee.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You can never have too much coffee, right?
When we go to the church, they have coffee. It's free coffee. They have coffee and hot cocoa and tea and all that, water. Yeah, pretty good.
Stay hydrated, my friend.
I used cocoa and used the coffee to make the cocoa.
Is that how you stay moist?
So I had a cocoa coffee.
I'm sorry if anybody doesn't like that word. There are people that don't like the word moist.
I think of a cake when I think of moist. Moist cake.
Yeah, Betty Crocker.
Yeah. But moist, like in your house, not good. That's mold. Moist is mold.
Are you missing your little Debbie snack cakes?
A little, but I just try not to think about it.
Yeah, he was paying a little too much attention to Miss Debbie.
Yeah.
So I was starting to think.
I thought she was my friend.
They were like
wasn't
serious.
My friend.
They were serious, him and little Debbie.
She was posing as a friend, but not a real friend.
So he cut off the relationship with little Debbie.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think that's all we have for you this week. Unless you got more. Does the chat have anything that they'd like to discuss or any questions in the chat? We'll give you a couple seconds to opine.
Lowe's puts in windows, somebody said.
I know
would
they sell
avoid
windows.
American Home Design.
Okay, I haven't heard them. I forget who's coming tomorrow. Is it, you remember? Pinnacle? I think it's Pinnacle. I don't know anything about them.
I do not have an estimated time of when we're going to get away. It's all dependent on what the doctor says on Thursday. And then, of course, I need to call tomorrow and make an appointment for myself. So someone wants to know where the Christmas tree is going to go.
Well, we don't plan to be here for Christmas.
I don't think we're going to have one this year.
Right. We don't plan to be here for Christmas.
I did have this nice fake Christmas tree, but you know what happened to it? I sold it.
Yeah, a lot of things went by.
I sold it. It's just like I sold everything.
Maybe we have a little one for the RV.
I used to have some little tabletop ones too. Remember your mom had given us that one? But yeah, we sold them all. We sold all our Christmas stuff.
I can say this. On our way to Florida, whenever that is, in the next, could be week, could be 2 weeks, could be a little longer, hopefully not much longer than that. We may be taking a detour to Florida through Georgia. I do have an aunt who is not doing well and not expected to make it, probably 2 weeks. So we will probably be doing a visit through the Savannah area. So we might be staying down there for a little while. We'll probably camp there at the Hunter Air Force Base in Savannah. That's probably where I'd like to go. And I haven't heard great things about this particular campsite, so we'll just wing it. We'll see what happens. So right now that's a contingent plan, but there's nothing in writing yet. So that's kind of what we're thinking.
Someone says, want to know about trail to lake and if you can put up dock for boat in front of property.
Here?
I'm guessing.
We're not close enough to the water.
Our property doesn't touch the water.
And I don't think you can add new docks to this lake. I think
you
they're
cannot.
grandfathered
They are
in.
grandfathered in.
So and that's why there's such a high demand for these docked properties, and that's why they start at $1 million and go up.
Yeah, the prices are insane.
It's because they're grandfathered in, you can't add new ones. And all of that goes through TVA, which is the Tennessee Valley Authority, and they have to approve everything. And they're already saying they're not approving any more docks.
No, now I think they have like community
They do
docks.
community docks now. You know, it's all about the money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money you have to be on the water.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if I had that, if I'd want to spend
I don't
that.
even know if I would do it, to be honest. We have a private boat ramp as part of the HOA. So you go out there, you get on your boat, and I would rather not leave my boat down at the dock like some of these people do. I would rather put it up on a trailer and bring it back to the house. I don't think that's a big deal. It takes 10 minutes to do that. It's not a big deal. I don't know.
Sherry said you could always detour through Napa, California.
That's a pretty big detour.
I can't wait for next year too. There's so many different places all across the
Yeah.
country that I want to visit. So
I'd like to
next year I think will be a pretty big travel
we
year.
gotta figure things out because there's so much we want to see. I'd like to go out west.
We need to get a plan.
A plan. I'd like to see Upper New England because I don't know anything about that area.
I want to go just about everywhere.
Niagara Falls. I've heard the Canadian side is better, so we can cross over. I know camping on the other side is cheaper than it is over here.
There's a lot of beautiful things in Canada, that's for sure. Right?
So,
Eh?
Don't buy gas over there. That's more. That's because of that fuel tax.
Donuts and hockey, eh?
You camp over there and you buy gas over here. That's your two win-wins.
Oh, Jason says North Pole? Question mark.
We did that last year.
I really want to go there during the winter, just for a short stint.
Yeah, you could.
But we'll see about that.
Yeah.
I need to hit that lottery. Because now I need some window money.
When are the Northern Lights most active? Isn't it like March? It's late in the winter that you get most of the snow and you get most of the Northern Lights. Because in January, you can get Northern Lights, but it's actually too cold to snow. And it's not fun when it's 50 below zero, 60 below zero. That's not fun.
I wouldn't think so.
10, 20 below, I can deal with that.
Well, I guess it all remains to be seen.
But they already got snow on the ground.
Thank you, Melanie.
They got almost a couple feet of snow up there already.
Definitely be back on it this week because, I put too much in to doing good just to fall off the wagon forever. But it does take time. And, I honestly hate to see the damage that a week did, but it'll only get worse if you wallow in it. So we'll be right back at it. And to tell you the truth, the difference in just eating the little bit of, bad food this week and how I feel, like you can really feel the way the food treats you if you're paying attention. But you wouldn't know that unless you went on something good to go back to the bad to feel the difference. If you're on the bad all the time, you don't know that it's coming from your food maybe. But the food you eat has a lot to do with how you feel.
And I really don't miss the sweets. That's really what I cut out, was mostly the sweets and a lot of the breads. Now, I still eat some bread. I'm just not as much.
I think one of your biggest things that you need to do is drink more. Stay hydrated, because if you're drinking the water, it flushes stuff out.
It helps everything work better.
And it keeps you healthy. But that's, I think, if you were to set a goal for yourself, I think it should be to drink more water. And that's another thing I really want to do. I have it on my list, actually. I would like to set some solid goals for next year. I used to be very stickler about that every year, that I set goals for myself for at least the following year or the next 5 years. I think it's important to think ahead and set some goals for yourself and have things to work towards. And the last couple of years, with all the stuff we've had going on, I haven't done that. But that's something I really want to get back into doing, is having some set goals.
Right.
So that's about it. I know everybody probably needs to get cooking on their dinner and doing other things. And I just appreciate all of you for spending this time with us. We love getting the chance to get to talk to you and know you better. And we're thrilled that you guys have chosen to spend this time with us.
And if we can find anything about Tennessee we don't like, we'll let you know. But so far,
haven't found it. Love it.
So
and
far,
don't regret it at all.
So far, I got nothing.
Read between the lines.
Read between the lines. I got nothing.
All right, guys. We'll talk to y'all soon.
Thanks, guys.
Love you and be good to each other.
We might see y'all in the chats on the other channels later tonight.
Maybe so.
Maybe so. You never know.
Keep doing good stuff for each other and showing God's love in everything you do.
Yep.
And stay
safe out there. Love you guys.
Peace.
Peace.